I'm going to show you how to wire an occupancy sensor. So this is an occupancy sensor. It's also a photo cell. And by photo cell, I mean it can see how much light is there and dim the light. Now this one works on 0 to 10 volt dimming, which is what most commercial lights use. So we've got a pod light we're putting in, and just to test it out, we've rigged a power cable. So my power cable goes to a transformer. So this converts the line voltage of 120 volts back down to 24. It's almost the same function as your power pack. So if you have a power pack, this is what you'll normally use in the ceiling to power your occupancy sensor. So on one side you've got black, red. So on one side you've got blue, black, white, orange. So your black wire is your 120 volts, so your black wire from your power cable, and then your orange is 277 if you're using 277 volt, which you might be or you might not be, and then your white is your neutral, so your neutral wire. So you're going to use either black and white or orange and white. And then your output is you've got your red, which is 15 volts, white is your sensor wire, and your black is your common wire, which you're not going to use all three. So in this case, I'm using a transformer, and the transformer is giving us the same thing, which is red and black. Now you go onto your light fixture. So your light fixture will have a whole bunch of wires sticking out. So it's got a black one for power and a white one for neutral. So these just go to your line. And then if you've got a 0 to 10 volt light, you've got a dimming circuit. So you have a purple wire here and a gray wire. It's very important. The way we did it is kind of sloppy because of whatever. But if you look here, I got a purple wire which goes to this red cable, purple is going to black and gray is going to red. So when I end up here, purple is going to black. So this is my purple wire coming off of my light, and I plug it in to the purple and white striped wire that's going into my occupancy sensor, and then my red wire, which is going to my gray wire, ends up connecting to the black wire on my occupancy sensor. And then we also take the black wire from our power pack and connect it there. So we've got a black wire from our occupancy sensor, a black wire from our power pack, and gray wire from our light for the dimming. And then our red wire just goes to the red wire on our power pack. So if this was connected, we would just go with our power pack. We just go red to red and black to black. And then that's basically it. Now, when you turn this thing on, it's going to take forever to work. You're not going to see it. So the way is, everyone is different. They've got different. This one has a programming function. So it's got a button, and the way the button works is you got all different settings here. So occupancy time delay. This tells us how much time we should wait until the light dims, and the default is 7.5 minutes. So if the room's not occupied for 7.5 minutes, or 10 minutes actually, it will dim. And then after 10 minutes, it'll shut off. So the dim to off delay says after it's dimmed, how long until it shuts off? So that's 2.5 minutes. And then we can put it in test mode. So we put it in test mode, we can test it right away. If not, it's normal by default. We can run what's called a burn-in. So a burn-in lets the sensor collect data for 100 hours and then decide how it's going to run automatically. Or we can set how much light we want. So this one, as I said earlier, it does two things. It does daylight harvesting and it does the occupancy. So if we want to set a daylight harvesting, we can set it to run for 100 hours and then figure out when it should shut off. And if not, then we can set how many candelas of light we want, and we can go from 0 to 200. So this is our tens digit, and then we can also set our ones digit. So if I want to do, let's say, 34 candelas, I can choose option 3 and then option 4. And then we can use the sunlight discount factor to divide this number. And then now this thing will stay on for at least 15 minutes if the minimum on time is 15 minutes. So that means this, even if the room's not occupied and your time delay is only 7.5 minutes, it's going to stay on for 15 minutes. And then this one also has a microphotonics, so you can turn that on or off. And then you can choose the dimming range of how many. So 10 volts means that if it's sending 10 volts to your light fixture, your light's going to be at the maximum brightness, and 0 volts is off. You can choose a high and low value. So say you only want it to dim halfway, you can choose 6 volts as a low, or 5 volts as a low, for example. Now it's really easy to do this. So there's when there's a motion, this lights up. So if you want to pick a setting, let's say I want to pick setting number 5. I push my button 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now this will flash 3 times to tell me that it's set to 3. So it's set to. So I've chosen 5. So that means it's set to 30 candelas. Now if I want to change that, so we'll do this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I have to choose what I want. So let's say I want to set it to 40. So I press this 1, 2, 3, 4, and now it flashes 4 times to tell me that it's set to 4. So it'll flash. It'll do this 3 times. And now we're back. So if I cover this up to pretend like we're not here anymore, now we wait 30 seconds. So I've actually set this to occupancy time delay to 30 seconds. So now if we let's do this. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. Oh, I was slow. But okay, so see, now it dimmed.